Hello and welcome to Bread of Life, a daily devotional program which each week features a different area pastor. Our speaker for this week is Pastor Kerry Schmidt of Newington.
This week during our devotional time, we're talking about off-script seasons of life, times where God takes our script for life out of our hands and He orchestrates circumstances or dynamics outside of our control. Trials, hardship, suffering, calamity. In our previous time together, I shared with you that several years ago I was diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma cancer. For about a month, I didn't know if I was going to live or not. And then for about a year, I fought the cancer through treatments and another year of recovery. And thankfully, through that time, God healed me and allowed me to continue in life and raising my family and pastoring and serving Him. But He taught me so much during that off-script time, and really my life has never gone back to my script. It's continually been off-script. He led to me into my heart during that time some decisions to make. He led me to some scriptures, and one of them was Isaiah 43, verses 1 through 3. And I hope this verse will encourage you in your off-script season today. God says, "But now thus saith the Lord that created thee, O Jacob, and He that formed thee, O Israel, fear not, for I have redeemed thee. I have called thee by thy name. Thou art mine. When thou passest through the waters, I will be with thee, and through the rivers they shall not overflow thee. When thou walkest through the fire, thou shalt not be burned, neither shall the flame kindle upon thee, for I am the Lord thy God, the Holy One of Israel." Think about those words, friend. I have called thee by thy name. I have redeemed thee. Thou art mine. I will be with thee. When we found out about my cancer, it was late on a Wednesday night. My kids were at a function at church. We sat down as a family in our living room to share with them the news that Dad had cancer and might not live a whole lot longer. We didn't know what kind of cancer it was. I remember that being the hardest moment of my life up to this point, sitting there with an 18-year-old son and a 16-year-old son and a 10-year-old daughter, looking into the eyes of my children and my wife and deciding to lead them forward in faith. We talked about the cancer. We talked about the trial being a stewardship that was given to us by God. We talked about not fearing. We talked about leveraging the trial for God's glory. And then I looked into the eyes of my family and I said to my kids, here's what we're going to do. We're going to make a decision right now. We're going to resolve our response. We're going to decide intentionally how to navigate this trial. I looked at my kids and my wife, and we were brushing away tears, all of us, after having spent some time in prayer. And I said to my children, we're going to love God, trust God, and live for God, no matter what, for the rest of our lives. I said it again. We're going to love God, we're going to trust God, we're going to live for God, no matter what, for the rest of our lives. I said, no matter what happens to me, no matter if I live or die, whether I fight this for a long time or God heals me quickly, whatever the case, we are going to trust God. We're going to love Him. We're going to live for Him because He is our Redeemer. He's our God, and He promised He will be with us. Friend, I don't know what circumstances have taken you off course, but right now you don't need a plan or a panacea. You need a person. You don't need to know why or how. You don't need a quick escape plan. And your hardship doesn't have to devastate you. What you need is a relationship. You don't need information. You need consolation, hope. And in Jesus Christ, you can have hope. Take hope today, friend. He promises He will be with you. We'll talk more about it tomorrow.
You've been listening to Pastor Kerry Schmidt of Newington, and this has been Bread of Life, a program to encourage you from God's Word.